Another day, another dollar, another orange t-shirt covered in grease. At the shop, making progress on the truck, so it's coming along well. I'm super, super pumped about it. Here we have our bumper. The whole front is still apart, but this is gonna get chopped off right here. I have the Southern Style Off-Road Slimline bumper, and this thing is amazing. I've abused it, I love it. It holds a winch, it holds a light bar. It's super versatile, but I wanna get some higher clearance to show off all this stuff we got going on underneath. So we're gonna cut this off. So I'm gonna walk you over here. I've already taped up this side to get ready for cutting. This is our reference line right here up top. And we just have our measurements. So there's a 1/4 inch seam along this bottom piece right here, just according to their video. I'll have 1 3/4 from this corner down right here. 8.5 here, 8 inches from, and all this is measured from this top line. If you watch their video, you can see how they measured that. Measured 8.5 down here, 8 inches down here. And from this seam down, 7 1/4 inches. And from the center of this bolt right here, doing 2 inches. So one quick tip for all of my aspiring vehicle cutters. We are going to be smart about this, and we're gonna use our tape line. All this is an extra 1/4 inch beyond what we need to have it for our trim. So we're gonna cut it here, and we're gonna take it really slow. We're gonna use this tape line, we're gonna follow it around and chop it off. Side taped up, get it ready to cut, and we're gonna cut to it. Yes. So I just ripped off the front bumper. Kind of terrifying. Yikes. But it's off now. I put it back on, now it's back off. So we're ready to move ahead and get this party started. So I'm gonna get cutting. Let's go. All right, so one last thing. Gotta remember to do this. Take your air tool oil, put a couple drops in there. Always oil your air tools before you use them. Oil them daily. It's a great thing. It's gonna keep them lasting for a long time. I'm sure you already know this, but for you who don't, now you know. All right, so it's time to start cutting this bumper. Let's get to work. So, first cut. One thing you can see when it's starting, this thing moves so fast it melts the plastic of my bumper onto the saw blades. So super tough saw, super weak bumper. We're just gonna keep cutting and keep on getting it. So let's go. One cut down. Loving my technique. Feeling good about it. So we just blasted through that. I pulled a pretty clean line, so I'll need to sand it, clean it up, touch it up, but overall pumped with that line quality. Right. So we're about to make the second cut, and it'll be good. I'm trying to give a little bit of a better angle so y'all can see what and how I'm cutting. And yeah, let's get it. I'll make the initial cut right here. Got it comes in at a bit of an angle. Did it. So super fast, super easy. I am a bold ass cutter. I'm not scared to cut body panels. Probably a bad thing, but you know, everybody has their own toxic traits. So I'm gonna rip this piece off real quick. Bam. That came off super easy, super pumped with how that came out. So I'm gonna move over to the truck. I'm gonna make a few more quick. All right, so let's make this cut. Sweet. So, piece of fender that is being cut off. So, yeah, there's no going back on this. So I'm gonna cut the other side real quick, and we are gonna just keep on going. So, wham. Yeet. Let's cut it. Ah. Let's do it. No brakes, all gas, no brakes, no surrender. This is vibrating my ball sack. Alright, so we're gonna sand it up and we'll be back to you. And I've had my time to shine as a saw cutting madman. Get some fresh sandpaper right here, and I am going to just sand everything out nice and smooth. It's gonna be super easy. It's gonna take a little while, but this step is where you wanna go slow because it's where you get that good finish. It's not about doing it fast, it's about being furious to do it right. There you go. So sometimes when you have a little bit more plastic, just use an X-Acto knife. Cuts it, or a razor knife. Cuts it super well and super fast. All right, so this is a small piece, but as you can see, it only took me a few seconds to do this. So there's no sense in rushing this step. But I'll give you a real quick close up. Right here, you can just see that is, I mean, there's a little bit of dirt on there, but that is super crispy. I mean, it's straight. This little curve right here, but this is gonna look so good when it all comes together. Just look at how smooth that is. I mean, granted, whoo, this looks great. So, on to the big pieces. It's gonna take a little bit longer, but it's gonna be great. All right, there's a knife. Razor knife, sandpaper, let's get to work. Every time I swear I cut this bumper, there's just less and less bumper to hold on to itself. So the first time I did this, I just cut out for the normal Slimline. Left a lot to be wished for. The edge trim looked great. It really covers up pretty much any F-ups you make. It smooths it all out. So, but I want to do a quality job from start to finish, top to bottom. So that's what we're doing. That's how we're keeping it good. The stuff that I just cut, and as you can see, it is honestly pretty smooth. You can kind of look down. There's some little bits and bobs right there, but you can look and you can see that that's a really straight line. Just using a penetrating agent. This is called Free, but you can use pretty much anything to do this. Doing is, I was lucky enough to have these holes pre-drilled and threaded from the factory when they were designing my bumper. So this stuff is gonna bolt right up. But because this stuff hasn't had bolts in it or anything for the last, I don't know, like 3 years since I've got my bumper, I just sprayed some of that agent in to try to clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna wipe out the rust and I'm gonna repaint the inside of those so that it stays protected, because it is exposed metal. Besides, I'm gonna clean it up real quick. We're gonna get ready to paint.
All right, so it's painted up.
It's all cleaned up, ready to roll. The next step, flexing my guns and bolting this thing up.
All right, so I am just mounting this up, getting that first screw in, going around and testing to find the right socket size and how to get in. The angles in this are pretty awkward and the clearances are pretty tight, so I ended up having to use a wrench instead of a ratcheting socket for most of it. For the bolts closest to the frame though, I was able to use a socket. or socket width extension on the lower one. Know that there's a secondary screw on the bottom too. Thankfully all of the holes were pre-threaded, so I didn't have to use a secondary bolt. I did end up having to use shims to get the alignment properly, but it all worked out pretty well. Using a hammer and loosening and adjusting, I was able to get the right fitment that I desired and to get everything pretty close in line where it looked pretty posh and perfect. You can see me hammering it into the right direction here and double checking, a little tappy tap, get it just in the right spot, and just like that, bam, you are done with half of this thing. It only took half an hour.
Oh, one of them is done. I put 2 shims in it, and it looks a lot better, so I'll show you that real quick. So this has this nice even gap all the way up. It's not totally in line, so I'm gonna loosen it and then readjust it, but the width is good, so now I can get it snugged up properly. So it's 10 at night, it's late. I feel like I'm trying to work on a SEMA build, but I'm not going to SEMA, I'm just going on an adventure. But I'm working like crazy. I don't have a job right now, unemployed, but working my ass off. So this is what we got done today. Kind of looks like a smiley face. I'll give you a other side view. So right here, we can see the Slimline as those evened out gaps. This thing is looking badass. I have a Franken truck right now, which is kind of funny, but yeah, so that's awesome. And we are making the progress. The line that Southern Style Off-Road gave me, it was close to where it ended up sitting on the install. I'm probably gonna cut a little bit more of a gap, but I'm pretty happy with where it is right now. I'm gonna adjust it. I'm locking up shop, I'm headed home. Got an early morning tomorrow, but feeling great, super happy, super pumped. Super happy with what I got done today. The front bumper is all in the bed of the truck, so I'll cut that up tomorrow. Well, I'll mock it up and put it on there. So super excited. And everybody, I will continue this in the morning.
Good morning, and I am about to put the bumper insert in a new day's work. Alright, so now that I have gotten the first test fit in, I need to take a little bit of material off, so I'm going to come in and cut that off real quick. I'm going to sand everything up again real quick, go back over my tape, and I'm going to blow everything off with the air gun. Right, so I just mounted the bumper back up. I have the Southern Style Off-Road trim pieces on, and now I'm going to blast out the bottom of the fender liner real quick.
I'm gonna cut off the inside. Give me a back. Back. Get over there. No. Yeah, get over here. Go. Back. Alright, so let's see what this cut looks like. Right there. Bam.
Alright, and there you have it. This is the finished product. It's looking sharp, super clean, and I'm ready to take this off-road and see what it can handle. Thank you for watching.